Good afternoon, everybody. I hope all of you are keeping safe and following all safety protocols and are really raring to go, gearing in for the new academic session, isn't it? So over the next 25 minutes, I would be actually trying to give you some salient aspects about this new academic session where we are going to have several firsts. Okay, and that is why I have mentioned this as welcome to new beginnings. Okay, so because all of us until now have been used to face-to-face classrooms, and any issues we used to immediately come up to the faculty and discuss and get it sorted out. But now we are actually going into an online mode, which is actually a paradigm shift in both the teaching as well as from a learning point of view. So before I actually get into the orientation, I want you to note down the following contact details, because I'm sure you will come up with some queries or clarifications during this session. And because we are going on YouTube and live, so you probably may not be able to chat through the conventional chat box. So either you can email at this email ID, umakrishnan@sastra.edu, which is mine. By the way, I'm Uma Maheshwari. Behind this mask, there is also a face which you may actually recognize. And my WhatsApp number, or you can also SMS me at 98943666263. So please make a note of these two contacts so that towards the end of the session, if you have any kind of queries or clarifications, we will be happy to clarify. So with this backdrop, let me first get into the nitty-gritties of the new academic sessions. We are actually making, as I told you, a shift in our mode of instruction. Predominantly, we had been looking at the face-to-face so far. Now, for the first time, we are actually going to have a full-fledged online learning semester planned. So I'm sure that with whatever experience you have earlier had during the end of the last semester, you would by now realize the importance of having adequate internet bandwidth, and you need data storage because majority of our materials are posted as videos, and you would require enough space to store them. And obviously, you need some of the accessories like laptops or mobiles, which has good internet connectivity as well as speed. And you will predominantly require the use of a lot of Google apps, because all our transactions are primarily going to be addressed using the Google platform. So you will be requiring the Google apps. So now, what we need to understand when we look at online is not to get disappointed or panic, because I view this as an opportunity to learn new things, to explore new avenues, and to synthesize new possibilities in our teaching learning process. Because online offers certain advantages which online sessions, which face-to-face sessions probably were not exploring earlier. And one of the major advantages I see as we go into online is all our learning is more centered on knowledge, on understanding, on concepts, because there is no mugging up opportunities that are here. You need to understand one concept before you go into the next lecture and so on. And you have adequate time. The time is not a constraint. So you can learn at your own pace, which is something which probably wasn't there available when we had face-to-face sessions. So now the emphasis is more on knowledge-centric mode. And the onus is also on the learners like you. So you cannot have any kind of procrastination where you say, okay, I have all the materials, I will learn it later. You need to be more prompt in understanding and clarifying any doubts that you have then and there. This is what is very important. And I believe that as the semester progresses, you will understand the merits of this particular mode of transaction. Now, as I mentioned previously, all our transactions are going to be hosted on Google Classrooms. You are already experienced with this. Some of you would have already got invites from your faculty who are handling specific courses to join the classrooms. Please do join, because your semester is going to start from tomorrow. So you would probably be required to have access to these Google Classrooms. Now, in case you have any password issues, like you are unable to log in because you've forgotten your password, which you're not supposed to, by the way, but in case you have some login issues, please email our system analyst, Mr. Sridhar. His email is highlighted here, sridhar@sastra.edu. Please email him with your details and what is the problem that you are facing. And you can do this immediately in case you are not able to access your Google. Is going to be transacted to you. One would be pre-recorded videos. These would be really short videos, about 10 to 15 minutes each, where the faculty would have split up a concept into multiple videos, modules, and would be uploading it either prior to the class or at pre-scheduled times. You can download that. And when you come for the regular academic calendar, where there is a specific time that is allotted, you can always discuss about the concepts that were given in that video, and you can clarify a doubt. So there will be a lot of interactive discussions happening between the faculty and the student, and between the students also. Now, we also have live sessions. You will have a timetable where there are going to be specific hours that are given. Some faculty prefer a live session, just like you have Blackboard. Here we may have a digital board where they can go back and forth teaching concepts like we do in a face-to-face class. The only difference probably will be you may not be able to see us in flesh and blood, but you will be able to see either Ma's face like this with a camera focusing on us, and majority of the screen being occupied by the whiteboard. Now, there can be a blended option also. Some of the faculty may prefer to have a PowerPoint and then pause it at specific points, ask you questions, get answers, very much like an interactive session that we have during the face-to-face classes. So these type of blended classes are also possible. It depends upon the faculty, whether they prefer the pre-recorded versions or the live sessions, or whether they go for a blended option. Now, what you need to also know is all of these pre-recorded videos or the live sessions, they are going to be recorded. So there will be an archive of this, but that doesn't mean that you should not attend the classes, because if you don't, you will never understand. It will be like watching a video. So unless and until we are present in the class and we interact and we try to understand what is being discussed, we may not really achieve the learning outcome for which this entire process is actually initiated. So I seek your cooperation. You are, of course, PG students. So you have that level of maturity that your future, your career is all going to be defined by the knowledge that you are gaining. So I'm sure that you would not disappoint us and would be very attentive and attending the classes, not just only physically, but also involved in it, mentally engaged with the transactions that are happening. Now, because this is happening on an online, there can be a use of a lot of e-resources, like you would be actually accessing many information. Either the faculty will guide you to what kind of resources that you should be utilizing, or they may post some resources which you can access at your leisure to understand the particular concept. Now, there are also going to be a lot of learning triggers, because when we are having face-to-face sessions, we have eye-to-eye contact. And that way, we have also a little bit of freedom to meet the faculty and discuss with them certain doubts or clarifications. But when you're online, you have even additional aspects. There can be tutorial sessions which could be discussion based, where there can be a trigger. The faculty might ask a question, you may pose a question, you may initiate a discussion. There are forums like the Google Chat, which each faculty may use at their discretion, And this actually will strengthen your understanding of the concepts. So that is why when I mentioned at the beginning of this orientation session, the online semester should be viewed as a basket of opportunities that were not available earlier to us even during the face-to-face sessions. Now, there is another change when it comes to your face-to-face and online academic sessions. A mentoring would be there. Earlier, if you had any issues, you used to meet the mentor or the faculty in charge, or in many cases, the associate dean or the dean. But now, you will still have the same options. You can always email the particular faculty, mentor, or the associate dean. And our university has no hierarchy, so even the registrar or the vice chancellor. But of course, you must also understand that the registrar or the vice chancellor are very busy people, so you don't want for each and everything to be disturbing them. You can always write to faculty or the mentors, who would be identified by your program coordinator and would be introduced to you in due course as you commence your regular classes, or you can email the associate dean or the dean. Now, many of us are not on Twitter, so tweeting probably is not going to be the appropriate option. So email is always good, or there will be WhatsApp groups that are actually going to be created for each and every course. So you will become members of those WhatsApp groups, so you can directly send a message to the WhatsApp. Now, the next important thing which I would re-emphasize, many of you have heard our Vice Chancellor's orientation on Saturday, but still it may sound redundant to you, but redundancy sometimes re-emphasizes the points. I don't want you to forget that the academic calendar now is going to be slightly different from our conventional calendar. We have 13 weeks of online transactions, and there is a timetable that is already drawn up for all of these. And according to this, you will have about 4 hours of classes per day, because you cannot continuously sit through staring at the laptop screen or the mobile screen for hours. So we have ensured that you will not have a continuous sequence of classes, but you will have a break in between, so that your eye strain will be reduced and your mind will have enough time to consolidate the learning that had happened in the previous hour. So according to which, we have arrived at 4 hours of classes per day. Very rarely, in case we are unable to fit, you may encounter 5 hours or some consecutive hours, but that is going to be a rarity. Now, because we are actually restricting the number of hours where you are going to have live interaction with the faculty, we are going to work for 6 days a week. Okay, so this is primarily for the theory classes. Laboratory sessions are going to be on campus. Okay, so after the end of the semester, provided the COVID pandemic is under control and the government advisory is conducive for commencing on-campus visits, your laboratory sessions will be scheduled to happen either at the end of the semester of when you visit the campus, or probably in extreme cases may be shifted to the next semester. Now, there are some courses where the faculty have actually planned. I would like to just indicate in SEEE for M.Tech communication systems, there is one lab on advanced digital communication where the faculty would probably give you some online exercises. The experimental validation of that will happen for that particular laboratory when you are back in campus. But of course, this would be only on a case-to-case basis for certain laboratories. By and large, all our laboratory sessions are only going to happen when you are back on campus. Now, there is a mandatory course that is necessary for all our M.Tech students, that is digital pedagogy and collaborative learning. It is going to be a 5-day course, and this would be conducted on the campus only when you return back at the end of the semester. And for all the M.Tech programs, there is an open elective that needs to be completed. Now, this would be done under the SWAYAM portal. So there is a list of open electives that have been identified by the various program coordinators, and this list will be circulated to you, and you can register for this depending upon your choice of the elective under the pool of electives that are suggested by the program coordinators. So points to remember from this particular aspect would be that you will have open elective, one open elective on the SWAYAM platform, and the digital pedagogy and collaborative learning along with laboratory sessions will happen on campus. Now, end semester examination is planned in December, but of course, this is of course subjected to how the COVID pandemic pans out in the coming months and what would be the government advisory regarding the functioning of educational institutions. Now, I hope you have understood that our academic platform is going to be Google and online, but then we also need to have an information about the assessment and evaluation in this COVID era. We have a change only for this semester because of the COVID pandemic. The weightage for our CIA from the earlier 50%, it has been changed to 25%. And the weightage for the end semester is now 75%. So the CIA is primarily going to be conducted through online quizzes. And by quizzes, I don't mean only multiple choice question. It depends upon the faculty. They can give you descriptive questions also. They can have you critical analysis. They can have MCQs. They can have a mixture of everything. But there will be a series of online quizzes, some of which could be announced. Some of them could be unannounced, which makes it all the more important that you actually attend every classes because you don't want to miss some of them. So online quizzes is the mode through which the CIA marks would be computed. Unlike the face-to-face sessions, we won't have any CIA week, so it would happen during the regular hours as scheduled by the faculty in charge for that particular course. And this would be also done through the Google platform. Okay, so the Google Classroom platform is where the online quizzes are also going to happen. Now, the end semester, it is going to be a proctored exam, which will happen on campus. So some of the courses would actually go by the conventional pattern. You have already experienced part A, part B, and part C kind of questions that we have scheduled for different courses. So that is what I mean by conventional. But there can also be some unconventional patterns like term paper or some project-based learning or some video mode of presentations that have been proposed by individual faculties for specific courses. Now, you need not panic. These information will be made clear to you on day one of the class by the faculty. They will already tell you when you enter the Google Classroom what would be their mode of evaluation in the end semester. Okay, so you need to be mindful of which courses have a conventional kind of an end semester and which courses go with an unconventional pattern. I hope that is clear. Now, the other major aspect which I want to remind you is all M.Tech students are expected to undergo summer internships. Now, some of the schools have already completed it, but some of the schools, it is ongoing. You would have received emails from your respective program coordinator regarding the summer internships because you cannot travel to industries. They would have given you guidelines as to how to go about these summer internships. And these deadlines have also been specified. In many cases, it is the end of this month. So please make a note of the deadline specified by the individual schools. I don't want you to miss this because it is a 3-credit program, 3-credit course. So make sure that you are aware of the deadlines prescribed by the individual schools and complete the assignment as per the norms that have been specified by your respective school. So I'm keeping it general because I'm addressing all the PG programs here. So I hope you will remember that you do need to complete your internships. In most cases, it is by the end of this month. Now, you also are going to undergo phase 1 of a project, and this is not restricted only for the M.Tech, but also the M.Sc students. The lab access is actually going to be curtailed because of this COVID issue. So as a result, more emphasis is going to be on the extensive literature survey that you are going to do. And you have to understand or define what are the gaps in the literature, which will lead to definition of the research question or the problem that you want to define, and what would be your experimental design or methodology that you will adopt to address those problems or research questions. So the emphasis is primarily going to be on these 3 major criteria, but in some cases, in consultation with your guide, if there can be small analysis or simulations that could be done, then you could actually make use of that. I hope you will remember these pointers. You would be once again contacted by your own project coordinators from independent schools, and this is common for all programs, not just only for M.Tech, but also for the M.Scs. You will be contacted, and you please have a discussion with your guide as to what would be the content of your project phase 1. Now, this project phase 1 could be actually a boon for you, because if your literature survey is very strong, it could even lead to publications. Many people have actually published their literature surveys reviews in some very good peer-reviewed journals. So you would also probably have an opportunity to convert these type of testing times into an advantage for you. Now, regarding the placement, primarily this would be a concern for all our final years. You know that our training and placement department is very proactive in this, and they are coordinating all the placement activities for both PG as well as UG. They keep giving notifications. Please keep a tab of that. So they will tell what is the eligibility criteria, what are the companies, and what are the expectations, when is the screening happening, and when are the interviews scheduled, and so on and so forth. Please keep a tab of that. Be confident and be well prepared. Okay, so tomorrow is going to be an interview. You don't go and sit and cram today. Keep yourself prepared for any eventuality, any kind of call. You are always going to be there. Maintain a confident demeanor, and most importantly, you should have an ethical conduct. Shastra insists that its students have the highest degree of integrity and ethics. Maintain this ethical conduct and integrity during the placement examinations, during the interviews, in every walk and every aspect of life. You need not be panicky, become anxious. Shastra is a brand by itself. Whether it is COVID or no COVID, Shastra's graduates and postgraduates are always most sought after. So you are part of that big family. So you need not be anxious. We will take care of you. What you need to do is augment or build upon your skills and technical knowledge, and you are in good shape to get placed in a very prestigious company. Now, this entire semester will also have a lot of virtual activities. We are all having in individual schools, we have different associations. All the M.Scs, M.Techs, everybody have their own associations. And these association meetings will now happen in the virtual space. And in addition, we also have scheduled a series of lectures delivered by knowledge leaders from various walks of life. Okay, and this will also happen online. So each parent department or school has a list of speakers who are really leaders in their domain, and they will schedule these lectures probably during Friday or Monday as the convenience of the individual speaker. What I would request you as postgraduate students is to actively participate, irrespective of whether you're in the second year, third year, because I also know integrated M.Sc students are here. So irrespective of your year, please participate in these type of lectures, because not only it strengthens your technical knowledge, but it also helps in networking. Okay, so you can actually interact directly with the speaker, and this kind of knowledge networking will improve your chances. It will inspire you to do better things in your field of interest. And in addition, there are a lot of webinars that are happening in different themes in all schools. Please be on the lookout for these notifications in our website, because now most of your evenings will be free. This is the way that you augment your own technical knowledge. Remember, in the previous slide, I said that is very important. So now, this is the one way by which you can keep improving and polishing your skills and your technical knowledge in different domains. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of my orientation talk, this COVID, actually, you can view this as a pandemic with all negative effects, lockdown, and so on. But you can also view it as opening up a basket full of opportunities for us. So there are some opportunities that are continuing, and there are new opportunities that have emerged in the post-COVIDian era. So you could understand that there is now no distinction between science, engineering, and technology, because it is important. People have realized that all of them should go hand in hand if we need to combat COVID. Okay, so we need some drugs for COVID. We need some devices that will detect COVID. We need devices that will protect us, that will sanitize us. These are some things that are mandatory. And this cannot be done only by one sector or one domain. It needs an interdisciplinary or a multidisciplinary outlook. So this is a wonderful opportunity for people from different disciplines, from different domains like science, engineering, and technology to converge on a common platform and work together for designing a solution to current COVIDian problems. Now, by that, I don't mean only finding drugs for COVID. You have so many problems that are now coming. Even having a network connectivity, it seems to have a lot of issues, a lot of online transactions happen, cyber security comes up in a big way, communication is an important aspect. Now there are a lot of interfaces that are required which need to be remotely operated, so we have the new area of cyber physical systems that are actually emerging. So you have immense potential, and so there are a lot of opportunities for postgraduates to actually pursue their research in many of these interesting areas. And there is an Inspire Fellowships which are offered to the topper in a batch. Now, by batch, I mean suppose you are belonging to M.Tech power systems, and if the minimum class strength is 10 or above, you are the topper, you become eligible to receive an Inspire Fellowship to do a PhD in a premier institution, and the stipend is going to be paid by the government. It is actually a good stipend of rupees 31,000 per month plus 10% HRA. So it is actually a very lucrative offer. And to top it all, you are going to do research in a niche area in your own domain. So people who are in the top bracket, now is the time you just make sure that you stay at the top, become the topper, and in your class, if the class strength exceeds 10, you become eligible for an Inspire Fellowship. Now, apart from this, there is the Prime Minister's doctoral fellowships, and this is, of course, more elite. It depends upon the quality and the area of research. Now, you are eligible to receive 81,000 rupees per month under the Prime Minister's doctoral fellowships. There are numerous competitive exams, GATE, CSIR NET, Civil Services, GMAT, etc. So many exams. I have just named a few. And you need to start to prepare from now itself. Okay, being in a postgraduate program actually it makes you eligible to appear in a lot of competitive exams, which opens up doors for careers in different sectors. So there are study circles that are organized by individual schools. Now, for example, SCBT has come up with a virtual Google Classroom, which they call as iCompete, which trains students to appear for CSIR NET in biological sciences. Now, likewise, there are study circles in individual schools for any of these type of competitive exams. So if you are interested, please contact, let your mentor, let your faculty, let your associate dean or dean know this, and they will immediately inform you about the details of these study circles. So Shastra has always had a tradition of people doing very well in these type of competitive exams on a nationwide mode. Please go ahead and participate actively in these virtual classrooms to make yourself become eligible to be the nationwide topper in these competitive exams. Now, you also have an opportunity of becoming an entrepreneur. Shastra has several business incubators that actually gives you a space and also technical expertise and infrastructure that helps you to become an entrepreneur. So you can have a startup and you will be able to become a job provider rather than a job seeker also. So I will tell you some success stories in a subsequent slide when I go there. The key to all these opportunities is the ability to think innovatively, creatively, and also critically. Okay, critical thinking and problem solving are important concepts and skill sets and communication, which will enable you to be successful in this modern era, in this digital age or digital age, if you would like to say that. So I want you to equip yourself with all the opportunities that Shastra offers, both on a digital platform as well as in terms of physical infrastructure and intellectual capital that comes in the form of faculty. Now, I just want to, before I sum up, I want to also make you aware of several recognitions that have happened during this lockdown and COVIDian time. You must have read in the newspapers the National Institutional Ranking Framework, where Shastra has done exceedingly well. In a highly competitive environment, we are ranked as the top 25 universities in the country, and we rank the number 7 in the private category in the engineering, as well as in the overall category. In the private category, we rank number 7 in the country. So Shastra is a brand which you can be proud of to be part of. So you have already an advantage of being a Shastrite. Now, all I want you is to make use of this wonderful opportunity to equip yourself with the skill sets that will help you be part of this modern digital revolution that is actually coming up because that's become more prominent in this COVIDian era. Now, I also would like to highlight several new facilities that have been added during this period. Many of you would like to know this because I mentioned to you that you do have incubator space and entrepreneur opportunities. We have a technology business incubator on additive manufacturing and Internet of Things, which is housed in ASK 2. We are also now starting a biotechnology business incubator, which will be also housed in ASK 2. As I told you, these incubators not only offer space and infrastructure, but also some expert advice so that your startup, you can develop your own prototypes and nurture that into a product in a commercial phase. Apart from that, several schools have added some of the infrastructure, like we have now a 600 megahertz NMR, which is going to be housed in ASK 1. Schrodinger suite, which is a software which will be very useful for students to do modeling, especially in the bio domain. There is a renewable energy laboratory which has been upgraded and established in the School of EEE, and a Center of Excellence on RF System Engineering. The School of Civil Engineering has now acquired a dynamic push-pull force measurement system. And the reason why I'm mentioning this to all our M.Tech and M.Sc is you will never know where you are going to be using this. So it is not necessary only those students should be using it. You may actually use it also in your own research. You may be able to access the physical facilities when you're back in campus, but make a note of all of these opportunities that exist even on campus. Now, before I leave, I'm going to give you a little bit of tips on online learning, because it is going to be a new experience for all of you. Most of you tend to watch video only. Please don't do this. This is a class. Taking notes is very important, because by taking notes, not only are you consolidating whatever the point the faculty tells, but you also can put in your queries, or you can actually draw upon the information that you have learned in some other subject. And participation is the key. Be interactive. Don't be shy. So if you're not happy talking out loud, you can type in, you can chat, but be interactive. Any doubt in your mind, be clarified. No doubt is silly. Okay. So please be interactive. Collaborative learning is the best part. You collaborate with the teacher, you collaborate with your friends, you learn. That is done through a lot of discussions. We have different avenues like Google Chat and so on, which your faculty would encourage you to utilize. Please be an active participant in all of that. And in case you have insufficient times, you can also have opportunities to post your query on offline, and the faculty will clarify that. And because you're going to stay at home, I would request you to minimize distractions. Okay, when you are actually in class, please consider you're in office. Please, you avoid distractions. Find a corner which is not going to be disturbed by others, where you're going to be sitting and listening to the class and participating in class. Be mentally engaged. It is not just sitting in front of the screen, but you got to listen to what that person says and get it in your mind. Never procrastinate. This is always a problem. Oh, all material is there. Tomorrow is exam. Now I will download and read it. This is called procrastination, and this is the biggest villain. Please set daily goals. Okay, today I've read this. Okay, at least let me, within a couple of days, let me refresh it. What are the doubts? Oh, it will be fresh in my memory, and then after a couple of times, it is going to be engraved in our minds. And do not miss class, very important. And in case your internet connectivity makes you miss a class, please make sure that you actually get those videos and clarify your doubts within a week. Don't carry that academic lag, because then you may not be able to understand concepts further. And as I mentioned earlier, ethics, honesty, and integrity is very, very important, because we are not going to proctor you all your online quizzes, everything. But then you are not cheating the teacher, you're cheating yourself. Tomorrow, when you are sitting in an interview, they will like to know what you have done. Okay, so you can't copy. So I would like to tell you need to maintain the highest ethics, honesty, and integrity in all of this. You remember, learning is your focus. And in any case, whether the faculty likes it or not, please give an honest feedback on whether you understand, whether you think this is too fundamental or you have some issues. Please give an honest feedback then and there, so that the entire process is a win-win situation. The teacher will be able to modify based upon your input. And finally, a healthy mind in a healthy body. You know, the situation demands that we wear a mask. Please, at no point of time, compromise on your safety. Wash your hands frequently, maintain social distancing, and please preferably don't use mobiles for your classes, because it gives an eye strain. Use large screens like a laptop and then view it, and you can take breaks frequently to preserve your eyes, and maintain a positive outlook. So everything is an opportunity that is presented to yourself. Now is your chance to be at the forefront. So maintain a positive attitude, and please manage time. Everything cannot be said at one time. Okay, so manage your time. So I would stop here and wish you all the good luck. And I will invite my colleague, Professor Ranganathan, to go live. And he will discuss specifically on MBA and MCOM. And you please stay connected. And please remember the email and contact addresses, so you can hold your queries and then post it. We will be happy to address it. Over to you, sir.
Hello. I welcome you all for the orientation program. At the outset, I would like to thank you all for attending this orientation program. Already my fellow colleague and Dean Mameswari Madam discussed in detail about PG courses. Let me confine my presentation only with regard to the second year, that is third semester of Master of Business Administration and Master of Commerce. So my presentation comprises of 5 aspects. First is all about the course structure pertaining to MBA and MCOM. The second one is all about academic calendar. And third one is all about assessment and evaluation criteria. And then fourth one is all about the challenges, that is post-COVID challenges. Finally, all about placement realities. Well, by this time, students of MBA as well as M.Com, MBA from main campus as well as M.Com from SRC, you would have received your timetable and they already disseminated about the various subjects. First, let me take briefly about the course lectures of the third semester of Master of Business Administration. You know pretty well, students who are pursuing your MBA, the third and fourth semesters are exclusively meant for you guys to study only about specialization, that is dual specialization in finance, marketing, HR, and operations elective and banking electives. So since it is a dual specialization, it's quite obvious that you will study 3 courses from each specialization. That is 3 plus 3, 6 courses you will study. So already you were disseminated about the various courses just now I mentioned. So apart from the 6 elective courses, 3 elective courses from each stream, so you are expected to opt an elective courses and you will have to undergo elective courses. So you have to take 1 more courses along with elective courses through SWAYAM. So that is you have to take a SWAYAM course on developing soft skill and personality. So additional information and instructions with regard to the SWAYAM course, developing soft skills and personality will be shared to student groups either through WhatsApp or through Google Classroom soon. Well, so you all know pretty well that this is my fellow speaker, Madam Dean Mumais, Madam, she already mentioned about you will have to study all these things through online. So as a student of management, as a student of commerce, you have already studied about SWOT analysis. That is, previously it is called as strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. Now they have changed threat into challenges. It may be a threat or challenges due to COVID pandemic. As a student of management, as a student of commerce, you should know how to convert those threat and challenges or threat or challenges into opportunities. Of course, having a course, studying a course through online, it is a challenge. As a PG student, in general, don't take it as a threat or challenge. Convert threat and challenges or challenges into opportunities. So when it comes to academic calendar, you have 13 weeks. So the classes will start from day after tomorrow. So you have 13 weeks classes. At the maximum, you have classes up to November. December, either you may have your examination, depends upon the instruction from the competent authority, that is from the state government. Either we will conduct the exams either through online or you can come physically and you can have your exams. You know pretty well that already we disseminated you through our timetable regarding the number of classes every day. It is quite obvious that you are going to have all your classes through online. So you have 4 hours of classes per day. And as far as this semester is concerned, as it was rightly mentioned by our Vice Chancellor in his orientation program address during last Saturday, that is, you have 6 days per week. Since you have 4 hours of classes per day, above all, you have 6 days per week. So this is with regard to academic calendar. Fine. So when it comes to assessment criteria pertaining to Master of Business Administration, so instead of what you had for the first and second semester, you got 50 marks for the internal. But as far as this semester is concerned, especially in the COVID pandemic, you have internal assessment only for 25 marks. That internal assessment will be done only through online. Calendar is not issued so far, but nevertheless, I would like to emphasize at the juncture that there will not be any time which is specifically allotted for your CA exams. All these things will be conducted for 25 marks instead of your 50 marks. So end semester examination, that is the marks which is allotted for end semester examination is 75. So the 75 marks, the examination, either it may be, as I mentioned to you just now, I would like to emphasize at this juncture once again, that is the end semester examination may be conducted first, that is, you can write physically here, or you can, that examination may be conducted through online, depends upon the guidelines from the competent authorities, that is state government. Okay, so when you take the components for the 25 marks internal assessment, obviously it comprises of 3 parts. First one is assignment, second one is quiz, third one is case study. So when it comes to assignment, we will give you 5 application-oriented questions. You are not supposed to copy, cut and paste. Obviously, you will be given a question that may be short answer. You have to apply your mind. So during the day-to-day classes, you have to assimilate the concept. Based upon the concept, whatever may be the nature of the subject, we will give you question. You have to apply your mind. It is purely application-oriented questions. Mostly, it may not be straight questions. So you have to attend to the class every day. Second part of the internal assessment is quiz. Obviously, we will conduct 5 quizzes from 5 units. So the marks allotted for this is 5. So you know that Master of Business Administration MBA, it is very famous for case study pedagogy. So you will be given 2 cases, irrespective of the courses. You will be given 2 cases very well in advance. It will be shared through your GCR, that is Google Classroom. Sufficient time will be given to you. So you'll have to discuss the case study through online. The mark allotted for that is 10 marks. So let me reiterate. Assignment mark is 10, quiz is 5, case study is 10. So altogether, you will get 25 marks for internal. Well, so when it comes to Master of Commerce, already they disseminated all the courses through your timetable. You have already done the internship. Instead of internship, it seems that you've done M.Com, TCS Career, Edge, and you have already submitted your assignment. So the IOC may be conducted. So these are all the courses you have to study in the 3rd semester as far as the Master of Commerce is concerned. Fine. When it comes to assessment criteria, that is evaluation for M.Com course, it is also like MBA. Internal is 25 marks, end semester is 75 marks, but internal is conducted only through online. Evaluation will be conducted only through online. So internal 25 components comprises of quizzes and assignment. So they will conduct 8 quiz. They will take 5 quiz out of 8. The mark allotted for quizzes are 15. So when it comes to assignment, they will give you 3 assignments. Marks allotted for assignment is 10. So altogether you have 25 marks. This is all about assessment and evaluation criteria pertaining to Master of Commerce. Fine. So now we are all living in the COVID era. That is, what are the challenges? Already I mentioned the outset. Challenges and threat, especially in the post-COVID. It is quite obvious that e-learning has become the new normal. You know, new normal is a new word. It is emerged only during this current environment. So, the pedagogy, the teaching methodology is totally new. Delivery from the perspective of faculty, it is also new. That is, new delivery mechanism have emerged. Fine. How as a student, you have to prepare for online classes. How as a faculty, how we are going to prepare ourselves. So we will conduct classes through GCR, Google Classroom and Google Meet. Some classes through pre-recorded video and some classes through live stream. And your learning should be focused pertaining to particular subjects. Already I told you, you have 4 classes every day, 4 different subjects. And attending the classes, you should be regular. You can refer the recorded things from the archives. At the same time, don't go for any backlog. Since every day you have 4 classes, You have to study through online. Try to attend classes regularly. And peer learning is also allowed in the online environment. That is, we can learn from your fellow students, and then it is quite obvious that evaluation is online, and you have to submit the assignment only through online. You have to submit at the appropriate time. It all again depends upon the individual faculty members. Next one is need for self-learning. Yes. So when you prepare for this attending online classes, you have to refer online resources. There are so many online resources which are available. And before you attend to any faculty members class, you should make yourself ready. Because the next day class, faculty member may ask some question. So unless otherwise you referred the pre-recorded lectures, you will be in a position not to answer the question raised by the faculty member. Okay. So you can clarify anything through online. So I would like to reiterate one thing at this juncture. Don't think this is an advice. It's just a request from my side. Use your time very purposefully, because it is quite obvious that since it is online class, you can learn, you can listen to our lecture through mobile phone or through laptop. My humble submission to you guys, better use laptop. Your health is more important. If you watch all the lectures every day, 4 lectures through mobile phone, it is not good for your health. Better you watch all the classes, you listen to all the classes through laptop. Try to have notes, try to take notes then and there. Okay, keep in touch with your faculty members and mentors also. Whenever you have any doubt regarding any subjects, sky is the limit. You can just contact any faculty members at any point of time. Use of technology, it's quite obvious that you have to use smart devices, already mentioned to you. Either you can use mobile phone or laptop. Of course, you have to ensure internet connectivity. So technology readiness is always there. As I told you, we can very well refer your archives. So the last point regard to post-COVID challenges, you have to balance both academic as well as family commitments. It is quite obvious that when you attend the classes in person, you are able to exclusively devote your time for attending classes. It is quite obvious that since your classes will be delivered through online, you have to be with your family members. During that point of time, you should know how to balance yourself between classes and your family commitments. You should know how to get along with your parents. You should know how to get along with your siblings. You should know how to get along with your friends. And I advise you, I suggest you that please go through the reading materials. Other than simply listening to the online lecture, then and there, I assure you that all the faculty members will give you some materials. Please go through the reading materials given by the faculty members. Please do not waste your time too much on the social media. Okay. So last part of my presentation, you have to ready for placement. As I told you, you have to convert as a student of management, as a student of commerce, generally as a student of postgraduate, you should know how to utilize this threat and challenges, how to convert these things as an opportunity to develop your soft skill. I could say that it's the best time for you guys to develop your soft skills. It's the best time for you to build your resume, highlighting your skills. You should know how to groom yourself well and better ready for the online interviews. And you can take so many online aptitude tests. I advise you just take the online aptitude test regularly. Brush up your domain skills when it comes to management, domain skill in marketing, finance, HR, operations. You have to just update your knowledge. And then what are the recent developments, contemporary, what is the developments happening in the contemporary environment? That is very, very important. Use social media not only for just going through Facebook, Twitter, other things. Please use your social media for placement opportunities. Update your knowledge with the emerging placement opportunities. Of course, our training and placement department of our Shastra University will help you, and just get the lookout for the updates from Shastra regarding placement. Finally, I would like to emphasize that maintain good health, stay safe, don't take COVID in the lighter way. Thank you very much and wish you all the very best. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. It is my email ID is ranganathan@mba.sastra.edu. My mobile number is 97861-72972. I reiterate, my mobile number is 97861-72972. All the very best. God bless you.
Thank you very much for patiently listening. I just have an important update for you. All your regular classes will start on 12th of August. Okay. So 12th August is when your classes will be happening, and you already have the academic schedule before you. I had a couple of queries on the email, on the WhatsApp. One was from a first year regarding the start of the first year M.Tech course programs. So all first year programs are done on a face-to-face, and depending on the COVID situation and government advisory, regarding functioning of the educational institutions on a face-to-face mode, we will have to schedule those sessions. Please keep a watch on our website for the updates on that. And regarding lateral entry students, you have the regular online. You will go with that with Google Classroom. Your faculty for that particular course will send you a Google Classroom invite. Please join, but you need your sastra.ac.in email ID. In case you don't have one, please write to sridhar@sastra.edu to get that. So I hope we have given you some inputs which will help you gear well for this academic session. Good luck and best wishes. Please reach us in case you have any other doubts. Bye.